I am immediately invaded by the sight of a white ceiling, surrounded by white walls, with lights that emit white beams. This is a sight I have studied many times in my wake-up routine, so I know almost every single detail in such magnifying intensity that it should bore even a historian. The brushstrokes of dried paint have been etched into the walls. The minuscule valleys and the mountainous peaks of the paint are the one thing I use to immediately tell how long I have been sleeping for. If there are new marks, I know it's been a long time, but if it's identical, I know it's been less than a 2-year interval. I haven't seen any changes in a long while, which sends me into more of a paranoia. I know the time will come soon when the ceiling becomes unfamiliar and I have lost the memories I have made with it. A piece of my life I cannot control will be changing, and along with it me, so I guess it's best to not get so negative and make the best of what I can. No one can help me in this prison that is my room. I strain what little muscles I have and move into a more advantageous position. Now I see the whole of my white room with its white floor, white table and white door. A 3-pane window encases the left wall, with the blinding light of daybreak invading my eyes. I guess the nurse had an early shift and forgot to leave the light off, while she focused on the others. My room feels a bit overexposed. I focus a bit harder on what lies on the other side of the window. It's spring? Again? It's quite ironic, but it's especially aggravating. I've awoken in spring 4 times now, and each time I feel like time is imprisoning me in the jaws of an unending spring. What I long for is not just any season, but summer. It's always so cold in the spring, and it just makes me regret all the things I didn't do the time I had. If it was summer, I could finally enjoy the peace of an open window, with the sun's rays bathing on my skin. I remember learning that the sun emits cancer-causing rays in school, so maybe I can just get cancer and off myself before I live an entire lifetime longing for another summer. On the other hand, I could do with actual summer. An exotic woman once interviewed me about my condition by the name of Summer. I said I would keep in touch since the last interview, but it's been so long, and I just wasn't sure how to go about it. Quite silly really, when each day I'm truly alive are the days where I need to make the most of my time. I really have just been wasting it in this room. If I can't even manage to contact Summer one last time, I really should just get the whole life thing over and done with. This is it. In my white room with a white wall with white light shining on a white floor, I raise my overexposed white hand to the white notepad next to my bed, and the pen. The black pen. My muscles are non-existent, so my bony fragile arms must shake into place if I am to achieve even the most basic of physical goals. The black pen is the only thing in this room that can possibly pull me out of this mental trap that I've gotten myself into. There isn't much else for me to do, but what do I write about? My life hasn't been particularly eventful as of late. Writing small talk topics seem like they would be a waste anyway, but I don't want to seem like a psycho and write about my lack of will to live. I have to get straight to the point, but in a tasteful way. This is too difficult. I put the pen and paper on the bed sheets, and once again look out into the depths of the spring street outside. It's got brown trees budding with green leaves, vibrant grass covering the floor of a large park that borders the other side of the street. Along the street, next to the park, a woman in a flashy red coat is zooming along the sidewalk as she goes about her daily routine. Wake up, brush teeth, wash, eat food, get dressed, lock doors, travel to work, come home, eat food, brush teeth, sleep. These are all things they take so easily for granted, and they've all been robbed from me. Oh wait, she fell over. Walking too fast in her multicolored world? Now she's looking at me as she gets up from the floor. What do I do? I look at the door that leads to my room for a brief second, and then look back. She's scowling a bit as I fluster to try and look in the other directions, but my curiosity always brings me back. She's moved on now, thank God. But I can't help but feel as if my lack of social skills from my time away from civilization made that much more difficult than it needed to be. Maybe if I keep looking it will happen again, and I can improve. Or at the very least, see something interesting. The sun is setting now, and all I've done is look out into the street. It's become quite boring now, and this letter isn't going to write itself. Thinking back on my interview with Summer, I was a lot better at handling the situation from a social standpoint, unlike the me of today. Sometimes I wish I could turn back time to a spring where I could once again be myself but with the positivity of a regular human being. Or maybe it was Summer that brought that out in me. It's been quite a long time since I've had any real conversation, so I'm just not really sure anymore. With the sun setting, I don't have much time before I start getting tired again. The thought fills me with anxiety like no other. I take my unmoved pen and paper and begin to write down my thoughts.
Dear Summer, did you know I haven't seen a real Summer in about 5 years now?
Maybe that's too formal. Also kind of creepy.
Hey yo Summer, what's up? I've been a while.
This is just as bad.
Hey Summer, it's been a long time and I'm not too sure if you remember me, but we interviewed a long time ago. When I was diagnosed with a condition where I sleep for an unusually long amounts of time. Like a coma, but cooler.
I draw a smiley face next to it, since it's probably the best joke in existence, and it needs the approval of a third party. None of these are particularly good. As I think about the words I write, I feel my cheeks flushing and the glow come out of my 500-degree cheeks. With each sentence cornier than the last, it really makes me consider throwing it out. But as I stop proofreading and finally get my thoughts down on paper, I realize that the story or the content of my letter doesn't really mean anything. All that matters is that she knows that I want to see her again, one last time, before I end up alone, sleeping, or dead. Now that I'm finished, let me finally read my letter and make sure it's all nice and tidy and not too self-loathing. I fear that my time is coming to an end. The world revolves around me as I get stuck in a loop, of waking up and going to sleep, only to wake up in the exact same situation. I've thought about writing many other things for this letter, but what would be the point? When it would just detract from what I'm about to say. I haven't seen Summer for many years now, so please, please, can you just show me what the world is unable to show? If next time I do not wake up to a summer, I will surely die in a cold white season. Anyway, have a good one, sweet cheeks. Hit me up with a phone number if you get this. I chuckled to myself as I realized how amazingly smooth I am. I sure do have a way with words. I call a nurse over and tell her to mail it to her, as I go back to looking out the night sky. The moon looks quite stunning and full, which seems especially nice, as it may be one of the last I ever see. The day has left me quite tired, so it's difficult to focus on anything specific. I feel the content of my empty life subsiding as the moon beams in a faint light into my 3-panel white room, and the previous anxiety of the day ends up retracting into its immobilizing boggy swamp. Looking around at my room as my eyes begin to droop, I see the walls aren't white anymore, but shades of blue and orange from the outside lighting. I collapse back into a horizontal position and am greeted with a familiar sight. This is a sight I have studied many times before the routine that leads to my sleep. The brushstrokes of dried paint that have been etched into the walls with the minuscule valleys and the mountainous peaks are the one thing that I remember eternally to pinpoint what era I'm in when I'm awake. I know it's been a long time, but it's identical right now. I hope it will change, or I will be sent into a paranoia. I want the ceiling to change, so I can finally make some memories with a new ceiling. I want memories in a season of warmth. I want memories. I want